So next Monday is your midterm. Now, this is an example of HSS. I would suggest you take a picture of it because that's all you have to do is plug and chug it. And if you have any questions, now's the time to ask. Okay, it's all pretty much cut and dry. I put everything, all the important information, so that you can kind of see where it all came from. Okay? Does everybody know where this stuff came from? If you have a question, now's the time to ask. Okay? Because right now I tried to make it as clear as possible. Okay? There will be some speeds and feeds on here. I'm not sure how many, but there will be a few. Just make sure you do not mix up hard turning versus HSS. Make sure you look in the turning section, not the milling section or the drilling section of the formulas. Make sure you look in the right section of the book. Make sure you read the question. That's all I'm trying to tell you. He asked me if there was any secrets or tricks. I said, no, there's no secrets or trick. You have to read it. That's the tricky part. And basically all you do is, for HSS, you just take these numbers out and you put the new numbers in. Same thing here. Okay? Did everybody see how I got those? I'll put them back up. Don't worry, I'll put them back up. That's not a problem. What's that? It's not a problem. I want you guys to do well. All right. I'll go over it. Okay, HB is 75. Does everybody know where the 75 came from? Okay. FF. Does everybody know where that came from? Good. FD. Does everybody know how we got that? Good. Then we get 76.68 feet per minute. Okay? Now, this is the formula that we use. This is our diameter of our material that we start with. 2.5. So that goes here. And this goes here. Run the equation, comes out to 117 RPM. Does everybody see how I got those numbers? It's pretty much cut and dry for HSS. You just got to make sure you look in the right area and make sure you don't do one of these with the numbers. Go straight across on the book, okay? You will need a book for the midterm. You are not allowed to share a book in the midterm, okay? Do you want me to do another HSS one, or you want me to do a hard turning one? I'm sorry? Do another one? Okay. And if you don't want to, you don't have to do it. I'll just All right. Let me see what else we got here. Everybody got that? Okay, it's going to disappear now. Now, make sure you do not mix these up. I'm running on a board here. I said I'm running on a board here. You know what? Let me do it like this. Yes. I'm trying to color coordinate it so it helps you guys. yes. Oh, excuse me. If you want, I want you guys to write this process down, because what we do then is basically you take this out, because this will be given. This will be given, that'll be given, the depth of cut and that. Yes. Does everybody know where I got that at? The 10. Correct. Comes from here. Okay. Basically, memorize this, and all you do is take you have to plug and chug. That's why I'm trying to put it in color so it hopefully helps you guys remember.
Yeah. Why do we do 700? This one. 0.
Multiply that times that. Okay? Like I said, make sure you read it. Does everybody understand? Good. You got to remember them. Okay. All right. Okay. You're going to have to know on the midterm the difference between a right-hand tool and a left-hand turning tool. You're going to have to know the basic processes of engineering. You're going to have to know the direction a lathe works. You're going to have to know some of the safety rules that we talk about in the shop. You're going to have to know about the bandsaw, the difference between what kind of bandsaws we have in the shop. You're going to have to know how to convert a fraction to a decimal. Yes? Okay. You want to know how to convert a fraction to a decimal? Okay. Take your calculator. Okay. Let's take 1 divided by 4. That should be 0.250, right? Yes, 0.2. Yes. That's how you convert. Okay? Okay. All right. You're going to have to know the difference between carbide and high-speed steel, turning tools, advantages and disadvantages. You're going to have to know some of the tools we use in the shop. Not the inserts. What kind of measuring tools we do use. That's why I always say to you, what's this called? You know, that's why I always tell you guys, I'm not sure. I say, tell me what this is. What's the diameter of an edge? You know, that's why I drill this into you guys. So that, because stuff like this is on the test. You're going to have to know how to look up a drill size for a tap. It's in the book. Major diameter, pitch diameter, remember? All that stuff. If I were to say to you, we want to put a 1/4-20 thread on the inside of something, could you find me the right size hole in the book and tell me what size drill bit to use? It's in there. Okay. So when you go, you're threading. See this? Right here. So you're doing internal and external. Okay. You have to know what all that stuff means. We went over it. What's that? What am I going to be given? Let's say, if I were to say to you, we're going to put a quarter 20 hole, quarter 20 thread inside something. Could you find the drill bit size? Could you tell me what size hole, huh?
It would be like labeled on like a drawing, and you find the stuff for this.
Yeah. It's in the book. It's in the machinist's handbook. You're going to have to know the difference between hard turning and with HSS versus carbide, how to do that. I think we went over that pretty good. You're going to have some speeds and feed problems. You're going to have to know the different types of class of threads. You're going to have to know a little bit about different kinds of steel and stainless steel. It's everything. If I were you guys, I would start through Blackboard and go over the notes. Go over your homework, because it's all stuff that we've gone over. Yes? There's 50. I'm sorry, what? Yes, the computer will kick on at 6 o'clock and shut off at 8 o'clock or 7:50 or whatever. What's that? I think it's a combination. I believe it's a combination of all. You're going to have to know how to identify a thread. The features of a thread. You're going to have to know what angle is essential for a lathe cutting tool. You're going to have to know a little bit about heat treating. You're going to have to know what an Acme thread is. Yes. Why do we use steel? To make a lot of things. The difference between a fine thread and a coarse thread. If I were to say to you, I have a piece of 4140, could you identify how much carbon is in it and how much iron? It's in there. It's in the book. There's like an ingredients. If I were to say to you how much carbon is in a piece of 4140. You go be engineer, yes? You have to. How's that for a first assignment as an engineer? Find that in there. It's in there. What is it? What is 4140? It's a what? A material, right? So what you do is you go to look in the book. This book only. Your calculator, no cell phones. If I see a cell phone or hear a cell phone, you will fail. There will be no talking. Any talking, you will fail. Yes, you will have to. Each student will have to have his own book. There is no sharing of the book. You have to know a little bit about feed rates. The definition of cutting speed. The advantage of carbide versus high speed and vice versa. You're going to have to know what an included angle of a thread is. All right. Any other questions? Yes. Calculator, no cell phones. You shouldn't need it, but yeah, you can have a piece of paper. nothing on the paper. Okay? And when we do have class next week, we will mix everybody up again. Okay? You here, you here, you here. We'll move everybody around. Okay? The midterm is next week. Okay? You will need calculator. Okay? Machinist handbook. Your brain. Okay? I will need your papers. One from each group. Hand it in. Each person needs to hand one in online, so we have the documentation, okay? So that if you decide to pass the paper along to somebody else that, a year or two down the road, we want to make sure that we keep everything on the up and up, okay? All right? Any other questions? There will be no talking. Okay? None. Zero. Anybody talks, it will not be pretty. Okay? It will be completely silent. If you have any questions before the test, please ask them before we start the test, because after that, there will be no questions asked. Because if you say to me, I don't know about this, or I don't know about that, sorry, you had enough time to ask me before the test. Okay? All right?